When the updated 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee arrived at our offices, we thought we'd see how our long-term 2025 Toyota 4Runner stacked up against it, because the 4Runner actually replaced a Grand Cherokee 4xe that I don't think anyone on our staff actually misses. I certainly don't. So could this Jeep actually leave us with a better impression?
So to find out, we put both of these SUVs through our usual tests that included subjective opinions on the interiors and the driving experience, along with observed fuel economy, measured cargo space, and car seat fitment, in order to see which one we preferred. And in the end, it was the Jeep that was our favorite, which is a little unfortunate because we have to give this test vehicle back, but it wasn't a flawless victory.
In terms of interior, the Jeep is the runaway winner. It's more comfortable in the front seats, it's more comfortable in the back seats. And while the seat cushioning may actually be on the firmer side for some, the materials are first rate and luxurious. Real leather, real wood, tons of soft touch materials, and you also get premium features like massaging front seats, heated and ventilated outboard rear seats, and 4-zone automatic climate control, so everyone can have their own temperature. It's really, really nice. The only problem we have with the Jeep really are its controls. This touch-sensitive climate control bar, or this column of frequently used controls that gets completely hidden by the steering wheel while you're driving, are just bad user experiences. But otherwise, this is a luxury car. One thing that's not really important in the interior is the available passenger screen, which doesn't really add anything. It looks cool on the dealership floor, but it just replicates a cell phone kind of poorly. But Jeep does a really good job of blocking its view from the driver, so it's not a distraction.
The 4Runner is not a luxury vehicle. It's a rugged vehicle, and you really feel that in the interior, where the cabin, it doesn't really feel nice enough for the roughly $61,000 as tested price. There's a lot of hard plastic throughout wherever you're looking. The feature set is okay, but kind of basic too. There's just single zone automatic climate control, a basic moonroof too, and you know, it's more snug in here too, especially in the back seat where headroom can be challenging for taller passengers. But there are some things I like about the 4Runner's cabin. It's got this nice large infotainment screen. It measures 14 inches, worked really well with Apple CarPlay. And the physical controls, the button, the switches, the knobs, they all work really well. They're easy to use.
Now, when it comes to the driving experience, there's a lot to like about the Grand Cherokee. It's quiet and comfortable at highway speeds. It has a nice planted road feel, good ride comfort, and the adaptive air suspension will also lower the ride height at speed, which gives you better fuel economy. But as much as we like those things, there's a big asterisk. It starts with how loud this new turbocharged 4-cylinder is. It's eco-diesel levels of loud, and it's aggravating, and it's unrefined. And that feeling of how unrefined it is even more glaring given how luxurious the rest of the Grand Cherokee is, and all of the great engine options that Stellantis has that are not in here, from V8s to turbocharged inline 6-cylinders. The transmission is lurchy at low speeds, and at highway speeds is incredibly slow to downshift and really keeps that power behind a paywall. On top of that, the Jeep has a spongy brake pedal feel, which surprisingly makes the Toyota hybrids feel a lot better.
The turbo hybrid powertrain in the 4Runner works really well. It makes 326 horsepower and 465 pounds-feet of torque, and it's more responsive and has better transmission tuning than the Grand Cherokee's powertrain. Also, the brakes are less mushy than what you find in the Grand Cherokee too. The 4Runner's truck-based roots come through in its ride and handling. Its on-road ride can be quite stiff, especially on bumpy pavement, and it has a bit of a top-heavy feel when cornering. Now, it trails the Grand Cherokee when it comes to overall comfort, but if you like that truck-like feel, you're gonna find that in the 4Runner.
When it comes to our objective scoring, the Jeep won 3 out of 4 of our categories. It finished first in our fuel economy testing, car seat fitment, and our value scoring. The fuel economy win is the most important because this is a gas-only vehicle and the 4Runner is a hybrid. But at the end of our 200-mile route, the Jeep averaged 26.6 miles per gallon, while the 4Runner averaged 26.3. When it comes to our value scoring, the Jeep is several $1,000s more expensive than the Toyota as tested, but it has many premium features that the Toyota lacks, which powered it to that victory. Another nice to have feature is its hands-free driving system, but that's a $3,000 standalone option, and if you don't want that, the Jeep becomes even more of a luxury bargain.
The 4Runner's rugged utility continues to its cargo area, where it won our cargo testing with roughly 4 cubic feet more of space than the Grand Cherokee offers. But there is something you need to know about the cargo area, and that is the high load floor that's in the 4Runner. It's much higher than what you're going to find in the Grand Cherokee, and with the Grand Cherokee's air suspension, you can lower it even more to make it easier to load things and remove luggage. One thing that's cool about the 4Runner, though, is that it has a power rear window, which is a feature you don't often see. The 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee is better than the Grand Cherokee 4xe that we owned, but an unrefined 4-cylinder powertrain leaves significant room for improvement. Even so, when all the scores were added up, all the other good things about the Grand Cherokee put it on top.
Now, if you want a trucky experience, definitely consider the 4Runner. But for everything else, look at the 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. To see how these SUVs performed in the categories that matter most to you, head to Cars.com, and if you want to see more comparison videos like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.